Hello there guys, and welcome back to a brand new review. And today, by popular vote it would seem, we will be taking a look at the CollectA Deluxe Koolasuchus. Koolasuchus, which name means cool crocodile, in reference to the cool climate of Victoria, Australia at the time, is a genus of brachiopoid temnospondyle that lived in the Aptian stage of the early Cretaceous 120 million years ago in what is now Victoria, Australia. So the remains of Koolasuchus were first found around the 1980s, but they were not named until 1997. These remains include fragments of jaw, ribs, vertebrae, a fibula, and parts of the pectoral girdle. More remains are known, including a partial skull, but has not been fully prepared yet. And from these first remains that were found in 1980, they were found to belong to a giant amphibian, but the thing was that giant amphibians were not known to have, well, gone into the Mesozoic, as they had previously been thought to have died out during the Permian-Triassic extinction. So the discovery of Koolasuchus was definitely an enigma at the time. And from the remains that we have of Koolasuchus, and comparing them to related species, the size is estimated at around 3 meters long and weighing up to 500 kilograms. This is in stark comparison to the absolutely enormous Koolasuchus that we saw in the Walking with Dinosaurs episode 5, Spirits of the Ice Forest, which was a 5 meter long, 1 ton amphibian that ate whatever it wanted, really. Now, Koolasuchus cleelandi is named after the geologist Mike Cleelandi and fossil preparator Leslie Cool. It is also, of course, a play on the word cool, meaning from a cold climate. As I said previously, Australia, during the time when Koolasuchus lived, was much closer to Antarctica. So it was a lot colder, and they would have probably had months of total darkness, meaning that crocodilians couldn't adapt well to where they lived. So Koolasuchus could adapt fine. And in fact, in 2022, it won a public vote to become the state fossil of Victoria, which I think is really, really awesome. Now, this is actually the first time, I think, that Koolasuchus has ever actually been made into a figure. Not even with the old Toyway Walking with Dinosaurs figures did we actually get a Koolasuchus. So I think actually it's about time that we received a model of this brilliant looking creature. And you can just tell how really odd it is. I mean, no amphibian looks like this today, not with that enormous head. So, in fact, speaking of the head, let's start off there. So as we can see, the head sculpt is, well, this thing has got an enormous head. Skull is absolutely enormous. Long rounded head here, sort of like an oval shape, with the black eyes on top of the head. Got 2 nostrils right here, and it's probably its main feature is this mouth. I mean, it's been wonderfully detailed and sculpted. Even the teeth as well. They're not as sharp, but still take care with small children. You don't want them, of course, to hurt themselves on there. But you can just tell you, like, you would not want that thing to lunge at you from the water. But the teeth aren't just here on the jaw. If you look inside the mouth, you can see we actually have teeth on the roof of the mouth and small little bumps along the top. This is actually known from related species, so it's theorized that Koolasuchus would have had them as well. This would mean that once it had latched onto its prey, there would be no escape. You would not be escaping from the mouth of Koolasuchus. On top of the head here we can see there's some really lovely scale and skin detail right on here. You can see there's a couple of spots. These are light green, and they actually go all the way down the rest of the body. Some really nice sculpted detail here as the head goes into the neck and the forelimbs right here. very, very nicely detailed. We've got brown coloration for the fingers. And we have the back limbs as well. So we've got 4 fingers on the front limbs, 5 on the hind limbs. And I'll show you here the other side as well. Really nicely sculpted detail right here. Very, very nice, especially here going along the body. Bit of a raised bit here where the spine is. Some nice brown coloration going along there. More of those nice detailed feet as well. And we've got the tail, and as you can see on the tail there's actually a couple of little striations or injuries on the animal. So perhaps this could have been inflicted by another Koolasuchus. I think it's always cool when sculptors add in little details like that, like little bite marks or wounds. Definitely adds more realism to it. That's really cool, some nice detail around here. And then on the underside, really nice sculpted detail here as well. Really, really nice, so tiny little scales going all the way down the body. It says here, CollectA, Koolasuchus, 2022, made in China. That's of course when it was made. This was released last year. And there's of course a cloaca hole right there. A nice brownish black colour. And then of course there's the underside of the tail. So really, really nice coloration as well. Sort of light yellow. And on top we have the dark green with the light green spots. And the brown from the top of the head all the way to the tail. I think the colour scheme actually works really well, especially for an amphibian, as of course this animal would have probably lied in wait in the rivers and lakes which it called home, waiting for any small prey, even maybe small dinosaurs, to come to the river's edge, and then would have clamped down on it and not let go, dragging it to its watery doom. As you can see, it's fairly large. It is part of their Deluxe range, so really, really cool looking as well. You can just place it down. It's definitely something that you would notice on somebody's shelf thinking, oh, is that a crocodile? No, it's actually a giant ass amphibian. Of course, not the biggest amphibian that we know of, but definitely probably the biggest that would have lived in the Mesozoic. And you know, it's really awesome that we get a figure from an animal that is known from Australia. Australia actually has quite a decent fossil record, though of course some of them aren't as well preserved as in other places, but still, to think that a giant amphibian once called home there, I think that's awesome. So we'll do a few little size comparisons here. So here's the CollectA Deluxe Koolasuchus alongside the also recently released Hadrosaurus. As you can see, the Hadrosaurus is very small in comparison. You can maybe even place it in its mouth and it's just chowing down on it. Also have the new CollectA Shastasaurus as well. See, the Shastasaurus is slightly larger, especially with the longer tail, but that's a pretty cool size comparison. For one other size comparison, let's bring in the CollectA Australovenator. Now, of course, these two would not have met, I don't think, and this size comparison is absolutely ludicrous. But just thought I'd bring this in, just two Australian creatures. I'd love to see a new Australovenator from CollectA. That would be great. Yeah, just show you guys this off to see how the comparison. So that is the CollectA Deluxe Koolasuchus, an absolutely fantastic figure, wonderfully researched and detailed, great colour scheme as well. The detail of the mouth is just, I mean, that is awesome. Just the detail alone sells it, and you know, we don't get many prehistoric amphibians made into model form, so I'm glad that CollectA went this route and made this. So absolutely fantastic figure, definitely recommend. I will leave a link in the description box below to Everything Dinosaur, where you can purchase the Koolasuchus as well as the other CollectA figures that I showed off in the review, and any other dinosaur related merchandise you want. So if you guys out there liked this review, please leave a like, leave a comment down in the comment section below if you want to tell me if you enjoyed this review or not. And if many of you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. It really means a lot to me that a lot of you still look forward to my videos. And yeah, so I'll try and upload as frequently as I can. I'll also be trying to be as active on my community page, posting various bits of information, or maybe some more voting things, or any pictures that I take of some of the figures as well. So I hope you guys look forward to that. And yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will hopefully catch you in the next review. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.